Hello everyone, welcome to Community Distance Reiki. I'm your host, Danielle Stimpson of Learn Reiki Philadelphia. I am so glad that you are here with me this evening, this rainy evening in Philadelphia where the Phillies just clinched the World Series. So very excited. So glad to have, I know so many of you are Philly people like me, so if you've decided to be here with me rather than climbing greased poles on Broad Street, my heart goes out to you. Yep, we love our cities. So yes, welcome in. And I also want to congratulate Cora Carr and Vincent on their wedding yesterday. Happy to the newlyweds. I'm so glad that you are here. I'm going to go ahead and start taking some requests for the crystal grid in just a moment. But first, if you are new here, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. If you are watching this on the replay, know that you're guaranteed just as fun and healing a time as if you were here live. If you would like to join me live, all of the details, including the days and times that I go live regularly, 5 times a week, are listed in the description below, as are links to my online Reiki classes, community Discord, crystal shop, and all of my social media. Thank you for being here. And I'm just so glad to get started. We will dive in first with the social part of our evening. We will be building together a beautiful healing crystal grid to the request of everyone that is here. For those of you who are watching this on the replay and want to skip ahead to the music and the feelings of the Reiki, you can go ahead, probably do about the 45-minute point, and or when you see the lights begin to shift and change. For those of you who are new here, we'll do the crystal grid building, and after a brief explanation of what Reiki is and what to expect, I will turn the music up, turn the lights down, and send Reiki healing to you whenever and wherever you happen to be. So let's go ahead over to that grid and start putting our intentions together. Fantastic. So as usual, we are starting out with copper. Copper helps to optimize the flow of energy as well as break up blockages. Under that, I have a piece of jade. Jade comes in many different colors and different shades. So this is helpful for prosperity, well wishes, love, luck, wisdom, and success in all ways. It's a beautiful sacred stone, and we've been working with it the last few sessions, and I think that we're all kind of in that vibe. So glad all of you are here. I also have good news to so many of you that have been following along with my foster kittens. I just got news today. They are officially cleared of ringworm. So I have helped to clear them of ringworm and kitty cold, so they are in good shape. So we're very happy to hear all these things. I'm going to go ahead and start taking your requests. So glad so many of you are here. JS, Chris, welcome back. Anj, I read your post. Thank you so much. That is incredibly sweet. I'm so glad that this was helpful to you and your family. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your kind words. Grateful for you for being here. Jennifer, welcome back. And let's see. Oh, Michelle, welcome in. Good to see you here. Let's see. Grace, hope you're doing well this evening. Okay, let's get that grid built. Okay, so let's see. First request. Comfort, emotional support for emotional vulnerability, anything to help process heavier emotions and work on childhood trauma. Absolutely. Wall of protection to go up around the members of your family. We can definitely support that. You're on the road and you might lose connection. That's cool. The Reiki will still meet you where you're at. Sleep regulation, joint pain in hands and wrists. Okay, good stuff. All right, I'm just taking a peek here. connection. Okay, good stuff. So let's start picking the stones that hit as many of these requests as possible. Emotional vulnerability, heavier emotions, animal wellness. Okay, so let's get that done. So and I will get through everyone's requests, I believe. Lapis, carnelian. Okay. So let's start with some clear quartz. This is an amplifier. All kinds of quartz are amplifiers and record keepers. And most of the Earth's crust is actually quartz. The clear quartz is almost like a blank slate. This can hold your intentions, so you can use it as a stone of either manifesting, or if you're working on a habit or a change in your patterns, holding onto a stone like this, imprinting that intention and carrying it around with you can be a really powerful technique. It also can help amplify the energy of any other stones it's near, as well as helping to stand in for stones that you may not have in your collection. So if you struggle with like, yeah, I want to work with all these stones. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of different stones. Get a few clear quartz and they can stand in for the stone you want to work with. We also have rose quartz. It's the ubiquitous pink crystal that we all love. It's just bright, abundant, non-judgmental, open-hearted love energy that can help support our heart chakra, whether we're really depleted and we sort of need a filling up, whether we want to shift our vibration into one of deeper love and more open-heartedness, feeling that we are supported to take on more love, like to let go and receive. This can be a powerful, powerful stone. I'm a wee bit colorblind, so it's hard to see which crystal is which when they're close in shade. And next we have amethyst, which helps us to connect to spirit, connect to the divine, especially if we're new to intuition or working with spirituality. It also helps us to be a little bit less harsh on ourselves, to accept ourselves a little bit more as we are, as well as to take ownership of what is ours and to not take ownership of what is someone else's. It's also very much associated with 12 steps and recovery, whether that's from substances, impulses, whatever it might be. So there we go. Lapis can help with deepening our communication. It helps with truth and honesty, as well as disorganization. And can also help with things like pain and inflammation, regardless of where in the body they may be. It helps to support us to express the truth, even when it's difficult to you know, like if you're struggling to say you're sorry, or if you're struggling to share something that's like a difficult truth, this is one of the stones that can help you with that as well, as can blue tiger eye. So let's go ahead and put this guy right here. Actually, let's use... There we go. Oh, your stomach's been bothering you? Oh, that's unfortunate. Fiat Luna, absolutely. Something for the lungs. Scorpio new moon, absolutely. Oh, diverticulitis too. Oh, no. Fiat Luna, good news. The fur babies are ringworm free. Yes, that's right. We did it. Yay. Let's see. So we've also got we've got lots of good requests. We've also got carnelian. This can help with healing relationships quite a bit. It can also help to calm the waters between different folks beginning to work together, or any kind of group that feels like it's a bit of a mixed bag, not quite seeing eye to eye. This can be very, very helpful. It also helps things like apathy and laziness. But this is a great stone for colds and allergies as well. Fertility, especially like IVF and even PMS, it's considered a great stone of sexuality. Any kind of sexual dysfunction, whether it's the emotional side of it or the physical or physiological side of it, as well as in connection to our twin flame. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring that in. And I feel like, let's see, we'll put that here and here. We've also got green calcite. I did see something for emotional healing, especially from the past and things like that, and emotional vulnerability. I feel like there's definitely a few crystals I'm going to use that support a lot of those, but green calcite can really help with relieving. It's calming and reassuring, and it also helps with releasing the physical tension of processing emotionally difficult things. A really supportive heart chakra stone. I absolutely love it. I feel like anyone who really likes working with rose quartz could also benefit from green calcite. So I'm going to actually, let's see. I usually do opposite sides, so let's do that. I'll put this here. There. And we'll put some green calcite atop the rose quartz. That can be really helpful. It's great for any kind of anxiety, tension, and worry, but also just moving things through the heart and not having them get stuck so much. We've also got, I wanted to make sure we got leopard skin jasper. This helps with healing the animals in our lives, as well as helping us to connect to our animal guides as well. It's a great stone for attracting a soulmate as well, and for things like anything pertaining to your skin. If it's breakouts, rashes, anything like that. Also coordination and balance. But when I'm working with healing animals that are injured or ill, absolutely this stone. Go. So that's leopard skin jasper. I also see Rhodochrosite is good for a lot of the requests I'm seeing. This is one of the many stones that has a big affinity to the lungs and the chest, and also for asthma, even for stress headache too. This helps with being connected to our sense of mothering and any woundedness there, whether it's woundedness from our childhood or we're working through things about how we parented others, either one. But it's definitely parent-child bonding. Anything related to that, rhodochrosite can be very, very helpful. Anything having to do with journeying and connecting to our spirit guides, it can be very useful for that. But I absolutely think it's a good contender for today. Let's do... There we go. Some rhodochrosite. So that can help a lot of childhood trauma type work that can be very helpful. It's a very loving, uplifting, but also helps you feel connected to spirit. So you feel that support coming in while you're processing some really difficult, deep emotions. So that can be really helpful there. We've also got relationship with husbands and children. Definitely still rhodochrosite, and absolutely carnelian for sure. Oh no, ABC, I'm so sorry. Sorry to hear that you tested positive for COVID yesterday. I can absolutely put in some things for that. For lung health and a lot of the other things I'm seeing too. Let's do, honey calcite fluorite. I had a perfect one at the top of my head. Yeah, so lungs, rhodonite, absolutely. This helps with autoimmune disorders and allergies too. I work with it a lot for that. And of course, on top of, I'm all about use all the things at your disposal. So I definitely use medications as well. I'm not about that, do all the things that help you. And you are the boss of your own body. You know what's right for you. So rhodonite can help with unrequited love, brokenheartedness, grief, processing lost love, but it is also wonderful for the lungs, for asthma, for any kind of allergic responses, as well as healing from belittling, if you've ever been belittled, especially if that's part of the trauma that you're processing, and any kind of emotional abuse, if you're on your way back from that. This helps you to kind of redefine what true unconditional love can be. This can be very helpful, but it's one that I often use for any kind of lung healing too. So it's one that we use a lot here for all those good reasons, but I feel like it could be particularly helpful today. So let's go ahead and do so that's rhodonite. The lighter pink one we used earlier was rhodochrosite. Closely related, but not quite the same stone. Also for lungs, we used this when Omicron was really spiking, and we got a lot of positive feedback that people found this to be helpful. It's green kyanite, which I can find less data on as far as what people like it for. I find it really helpful for any kind of heart chakra related healing, any kind of being aware of what's going on in our heart center, what's impacting us, and connection to spirit, to get a little inspiration and understanding what's going on, as well as really targeting the lungs to help with any kind of inflammation there. It's thought to be very helpful for that. So this is green kyanite. Let's actually put it right here so the lung stones are close. And we've got Howlite by request. Howlite helps with a wide variety of different things, and very specifically, it's great for anger and resentment and frustration. Anytime we have those difficult feelings kind of stuck, it can be really hard to process them in a way that's not destructive, either self-destructive or kind of volatile towards other people. So this can really help us to process that without bypassing it. It's also thought to be helpful for teeth, hair, and bones. Really thought of as a big support for things like osteoporosis, which I suffer with, bone density issues for sure. Anything having to do with the bones, healing the bones. Excellent for just anything orthopedic at all. It's also great. It's thought to help things like completing studies and learning as well, which we often use tiger eye and labradorite for that. And I know, Grace, that's been a big request of yours. Let's throw in a little intention that Howlite help us there as well. So yeah, let's go ahead, and this can even help with like dislocated joints and such. So let's do these beautiful Howlite hearts. To help with all the orthopedic requests. Hey, Karen. Good to see you. Really good to see you. Financial abundance, smoking cessation, weight loss. Yeah, we've seen a couple of weight loss requests. Iolite is thought to be really helpful for that. So we're going to use some Iolite for that. It's also helpful for things like money management. So for those of us who are requesting a little support in the finance department, this can help us make the most of what we have and manage the resources at our disposal to kind of stretch them to go as far as they can while we're manifesting that abundance. It also helps with regulating sleep, as does amethyst and labradorite. And I did see Jen's request for some support with sleep. Also helps with intuition as well. So we will go ahead and bring some of that. Also going to bring in some Unakite. I know we've been using this quite a bit too, but it's just been perfect for the vibe we've had. This is good for anything having to do with women's health. It's thought to be helpful for all the way in the beginning, like onset of menses, all the way to like postmenopausal, but also relationships, marriage, even relationships with children to a point. Also helpful for things like metabolism, which can be a huge part of losing weight. It's also one of the first recommended stones you'll see for smoking cessation and really any addiction whatsoever. So all the best to you as you journey to, break your reliance on tobacco and nicotine. I did it myself when I was finally kicked it for good when I was like 28, I think. It was right when I started Learn Reiki Philadelphia. So yeah, community acupuncture. I don't know if I would have been able to do it without that. So we'll bring in some Unakite. Okay, so let's do... Such a loving and light stone. That's coming out really nicely. We've also got... Yeah, I love Unakite too. Hey, Prudence, it's good to see you. Psychic abilities, your puppy. Ava's joints and teeth, gotcha. Joints very much, joints and teeth. Definitely Howlite. And for teeth, fluorite. Fluorite helps with calm, centered focusedness. It's a very lighthearted stone. It absolutely helps the teeth, as it is fluoride. They naturally grow in these beautiful octahedrons. This is its crystal structure. It was not cut into these shapes. It's so fascinating. I'm going to bring those in too. I'm going to bring in some Amazonite as well to cover a few of your requests. One is it really helps with self-respect and self-care. Definitely like a self-love stone. It's also helpful for like luck and winnings and things like that. But this is particularly helpful for things like anything having to do with the spine, especially if it has to do with the nerves of the spine. And any kind of neurological issues that impact that, that's something I struggle with as well. So this is not only calming, and it helps us to remember that even if you're a caregiver, that you need to be a care receiver. So it reminds you that you are important too, and your care is important, and it's good to be cared for. So yeah, this is great for anybody who does anything like working in a hospital, nursing, any kind of caregiving, as well as things like spinal health. There we go. Okay, so that is Amazonite. We also have honey calcite. This one helps with optimism in challenging times. For those of you who are looking to like transition in your careers, this helps to attract some really good colleagues. It can also help like with attracting love interests. This helps to balance and support our solar plexus as well as our sacral chakras. Sacral is very much everything that we talked about in relation to carnelian. It's how we relate to others. It's how we interdepend on others. And then solar plexus is our sense of self. What do we want? Who are we? What is our will? This is a great stone to balance those two kinds of concepts while bringing in an amazing amount of abundance. It's also, as a calcite, just like green calcite, it helps to support the health of the bones as well. So there we go. Bring those in. Hey, Fawn, welcome back in. Good to see you. Heart, welcome in. Fear, anxiety, feeling safe. So grateful for all of you too. Protection for your loved ones. Lessen anxiety. Your son, safety and protection for your loved ones. Gotcha. Smooth transition for new beginnings. Pardon me, digging around in a box of stones there. I'm going to bring in some tourmalinated quartz because it hits on a lot of those notes for Karen and for a lot of the rest of you. This is black tourmaline, which dispels negative energy, which I'm going to actually put around the grid as well, but it's running through clear quartz. And essentially what this does is it brings that clearing, purifying energy through your energy field. This one is another stone that has so many different potential healing benefits. It's helpful for things like grounding and releasing nervous energy, anxiety, and things like that. And it seems like a lot of us are struggling with that today. But it also helps with things like fortune, when it comes to finding new jobs, new beginnings, for sure. It helps to clear a lot of the old debris, the emotional, mental debris from previous things to start something new and afresh. But it also helps to bring in and connect us with new jobs, even like gigs or opportunities to create income, even if it's not specifically a new job. This is also helpful for healing emotional trauma and breaking up the really stuck patterns that trauma can kind of leave behind. It's also thought to break up literal scar tissue, and oftentimes folks will bring it in if they're looking to move scar tissue within the body. I've had that intention working with it in the past when I was recovering from surgery on a very badly broken leg. A lot of scar tissue developed. This helped to break it up. I mean, acupuncture, again, was a total savior. And any kind of patterns from early childhood, which it looks like a few of you are working through today. So tourmalinated quartz. This also helps with protection driving and in vehicles. Like one of the many stones that is thought to be protective of travel. And I know we've got a few of you, some of you are on the road, some of you are asking for like protection and support around your cars, around loved ones traveling. So that's a great stone to use for that. Positive thinking, yeah. Fertility, nerve pain, ankle, new beginning. Hey, I already got the new beginnings. For your ankle, definitely we can do some, lapis helps with pain and inflammation. Nerve pain is amazonite. Fertility is unakite and carnelian. And new beginnings and creativity, a great creativity option is always carnelian. But we're good there. Positive thinking. Making sure I didn't miss anyone. Psychic abilities too. Let's see. Perfect stone, Prehnite, for a lot of those. This is one that facilitates more like a spiritual teaching and spiritual learning. It's an excellent meditation stone, especially when we have things like a wandering mind, and especially if it like wanders into the negative self-talk kind of thing. It can aid with things like what we see in meditation so that we can get those messages and understand those messages. It can also help us to refuse unfair demands if that's something that we're struggling with. But as far as a stone that helps us to open up to intuition while also kind of steering us away from the negative places our mind tends to go, Prehnite's a great one. It's also thought to help the kidney and bladder. Not that anyone's requested that, but it can't hurt. I often keep this around when I'm teaching Reiki because it really helps create a space for spiritual teaching and learning. It's excellent for that. So Prehnite for that. I'm also going to bring in some epidote. This is a stone that I highly recommend for anybody that's struggling with the negative self-talk that we tend to play for ourselves, but also is great for anything having to do with nerves as well as skin and recovering from any kind of illness or injury. So this is epidote. It looks very similar to the unakite. It's also connected with the fairy realm, as we were talking about last time we used this, with Epona, if we're familiar with Epona. Go. There we go. Epidote. My screen is all over the place. Oh, okay. Somebody was having kidney and bladder issues. Okay. Heart chakra, anger issues, trust issues. Yeah, definitely. Anger and trust, definitely howlite. Let's see. Stomach issues I haven't quite touched on yet. And finances. Black obsidian is a stone that can help us with anything digestive related. Here it helps with Mookaite or Australia Jasper can be great with calming digestion, but this just helps with anything digestion related, whether we're digesting like physical, internal digestion, or if we're digesting and moving through the stages of grief and bad news. It can help with that too. It's a stone that I use a lot with things like deep, severe trauma, and especially when there's like acute trauma, something just very recently happened that's deeply traumatic. It can be helpful for that. It helps us to process emotional shock and grief as well. And it's great for nervous pets. So another stone that can help us with a few of those things. Let's go ahead and place it atop the clear quartz. Because why not? And also said I wanted to bring in some black tourmaline. Because it is so protective, it helps to deflect any kind of negative energy or energy that's just not meant for us to absorb. It's almost like a no thank you, an Uno reverse, if you will, of not great energy or not our energy. Black tourmaline is something that I'll wear even a small piece of or carry a few small pieces of if I'm going to a place that's going to be very crowded, or it's likely to be a place of like disharmony. If I'm showing up like at a, say I'm working towards some community change and I'm going to like a board meeting or something like that, or a planning meeting or a zoning commission or something like that. This is one that I use to kind of like deflect that negative energy. I don't need it in my field, even though I need to engage with it on some level. So we'll bring that into very protective. Okay. And we're going to do some money manifestation too. Clarity in life too. Okay. Yeah, clarity in life. And for your parents to buy a house. I hope that works out well. And let's do some money magic. So for protection and manifesting finances in a hurry, red tiger eye, it's one of the most protective stones that you can work with. Even if it's intentional negative energy work, this is a great stone to work with. It helps to dispel even like other things like bullying and things like that, sexism, gaslighting. If you feel like you're kind of being victimized by that, or you're not quite sure if that's what's going on in the interpersonal relationship with someone, this can help with that. It helps also to those who are kind of picked on at work, but it's excellent for calling on quick money manifestation while also being highly protective. Okay, and we'll also bring in some oh yeah, thank you. The grid is coming together nicely, everyone. Thank you for all the inspiration. Let's also bring in some, our citrine. Don't we always need citrine? Why wouldn't we have citrine? This is the stone of money manifestation. This can help us to call in financial abundance and resource wealth, whatever that might look like. So things like calling in a home, like that's resource wealth. So yeah, we'll bring that in for sure. So carnelian, let's see. That won't quite fit there. Let's do these. This is also a stone that can help balance. Sometimes when we open up to intuition, it can be a little hard to be like, what's my logic? What's my intuition? I can't tell them apart. Or if one is kind of outweighing the other and displacing the other, this can be helpful for that. Let's little bit more citrine here. Around the edges. Because why not have more of that? We'll bring in some pyrite as well. Pyrite, I'm going to bring in a big piece of pyrite. Pyrite can help with intuitive ability and opening up to intuition, as well as getting energy to flow if it's stuck. It's particularly helpful for this is one of the stones that's most suggested for Reiki practitioners to help move the Reiki, but it also is thought to increase attraction of wealth. So I'm going to bring in a big old piece of pyrite today, and I'm going to put it right smack dab in the middle of our spiral. And I think I've got everybody covered, even if I didn't mention you specifically. Oh, your friend lost their pet bunny 3 days ago. They are heartbroken. Absolutely, we can request healing for that. This is a stone too of there's a couple of stones that can help. Stones that can help connect us with a deceased pet include rhodochrosite, grief, black obsidian. That's the stone of like deep grief. Specifically, these are Apache tear. All Apache tear is black obsidian. Not all black obsidian is Apache tear. These particularly come from a place. They're all volcanic glass, but these particularly were mined in a place that was under the Trail of Tears, where the Native American genocide was taking place, and the Apache were marched off of their land. And other people too were marched off of their land, and a lot of people were killed and dying along the way. This was thought to help them process that intense grief. So we've got that as well. And yeah, I hope that helps. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I'm actually rhodonite, which helps with the emotions of loss. This is actually crematory jewelry. This contains the ashes, or some of the ashes, of my cat that passed away almost exactly a year ago. So I totally understand. And rhodonite is all around here too. So let's go ahead and we'll shift into that thing that we do where I pick a couple of crystals and have you all vote on them. There's just a couple of crystals that I think complement the energy that all of you are, requesting support with. And so for everybody, even if I didn't read out your specific request, I did see them all, and I know that there's some stones here that help reflect supporting all of them. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Self-sabotage epidote, which is here, can help with that. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's the sad. Let's see. What can I add to this grid? Okay, I think we've got all of us represented in these stones. Okay, so y'all are going to vote on which of these two stones you like. Now, at the same time, you are not limited to just one vote. Wink, wink, hint, hint. But the first one is one that we've worked with recently, Mahogany Obsidian. This is a stone that can help us to kind of let go of self-blame, self-shame, especially when it comes to perfection being in the way of progress. Yeah, it helps us to really love ourselves with our imperfections, especially for those of us who tend to really blow our imperfections, quote unquote, out of proportion, or really blame and shame and internalize any kind of shortcoming, perceived or real. This can be helpful for that. And I feel like that's kind of something I'm seeing in a few of the requests. And the other is red jasper. Deeply grounding. So anytime that we're feeling a lot of instability, I'm not quite sure, I feel like I'm lost and I don't quite know where to go, what to do, what to hold on to, and I feel like my basic needs, I'm worried about those, but I'm disconnected from them at the same time, all of that kind of stuff, and anything root chakra related at all, red jasper is your best buddy. Very gentle, but very, at the same time, like gentle, but also very consistent in its ability to kind of ground and anchor us. So yeah, I see already the usual votes. Just gonna leave that there. I'm gonna quickly explain what Reiki is, how this is going to kind of work, what you might expect, and then we'll finish up the grid and we'll get into the healing. So as I mentioned at the top of the hour, my name is Danielle Stimpson, and I'm the owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia. I'm so glad you're here today. If you'd like to learn more about my online Reiki classes, community Discord, crystal shop, or social media, all of that's in the description below. The style of Reiki that we'll be working with today and that I mostly work with is known as Usui Reiki. And this is named after the gentleman who founded this particular method in early 1920s Japan. And while this is a fairly modern take, the basic building blocks and the foundation of this practice is rooted in several different things, from ancient Buddhism, from the more ancient roots of Buddhism to the more ancient roots of Hinduism, and all the way back to the ancient indigenous spirituality of Japan known as Shintoism. This is where we get the basic concept of energy that we see in Usui Reiki. In Shintoism, we see that there's a concept of everything has a soul. Everything, not just me and you and our animals and things that we know have it, but the things behind me, the things we are sitting on, everything has a soul. And as everything has a soul, we are all interconnected and inextricably linked, where sort of the energetic equivalent of energy is never created nor destroyed, it just changes form. It's the interpersonal and spiritual equivalent of that. The concept of energies flowing through everyone and everything and all being interconnected, we can see today in our regular mundane daily life. Like, for example, supply chain issues. Like, we are all inextricably linked, where one thing happens here absolutely impacts the other one there. It's a very real world and logical and mundane way of seeing that principle at play, but it happens even on the most subtle showing up, how it impacts us interpersonally and energetically. With Reiki, which translates to spiritually guided life energy, what's actually happening is the many energy forces at play in the universe that run through all of us and unite and connect all of us. One of them is this spiritually guided energy that supports our body, mind, and spirit to sort of make the best work of it that they can. This is the energy that helps support us to release what no longer serves, to invite in what does, to help transform and transmute and process things on a regular, everyday basis. We can see this showing up physically as a sensation in our body, as emotionally, as the different emotions and feelings coming up throughout a session. We may notice it in terms of mentally in our subtle subconscious speaking to us, or our connection to the divine and spirituality in sort of intuition filtering in. So no matter what you experience in your session, it is the best, highest good for you today, right here, right now. And because we're all interconnected, it doesn't matter where you are in relation to me in terms of miles or kilometers, and it doesn't matter when you are in relation to me. So if you are watching this in the future, hello from the past. This healing is here to support you just the same as if you were here live. So you don't need to do anything to help connect with this energy. Essentially, I'll be taking this energy that is flowing through all of us, that we all have access to all the time, and connecting with it and basically directing more of it to you. And your body, mind, and spirit will apply it in the best possible way. As I do that, you're invited to simply get as comfortable as you can. Sit up, lay down, whatever feels right. You can close your eyes and just notice what comes up. If your mind keeps kind of babbling, it might be your subconscious speaking, so hear it out. If you're not sure if it's that or just racing mind, take a deep breath in and out. But there's no need to focus on something or to keep your mind silent. You can simply just notice what's going on. If you feel like you're going to fall asleep, awesome, enjoy. And if you feel inclined to journal or stretch or use this time in conjunction with doing a reading for yourself or anything like that, that's great. This time is for you to take care of yourself, whether that's very passive, lying back and allowing, or using this time to kind of do some other spiritual work or physical work. I will send for 25 minutes, and in that time, I will lower the lights. You'll notice them moving through several different colors slowly, and you'll not see any flashing or strobing, so you're good there. I'll also turn the music up if you'd like to learn more about the content creator that created this music. Her information is in the description box below as well. At the end of that 25-minute session, you'll hear my voice come back in. I'll invite you to take a deep breath, and at that point, I'll reopen the chat and ask you if there's anything you'd like to share, any questions that you have, and I'll be more than happy to help you with that. If you think of questions later, or if you're watching this in the future, feel free to connect with me through social media or through the comments, and I'll be more than happy to help answer any questions you might have. Thank you all so very much for being here. It is an honor and a pleasure to share this healing with all of you. The more folks come together with the same or similar intent, like healing, the greater the energy potential available for everyone here. And that's the concept of communal chi that we see coming from China. So thank you so much for being here. And let's get into seeing what won that vote. I wonder what it was. It's both. Surprise. It's always both. And I love that. I love that it's always both. I absolutely love it. So let's go ahead and bring some Mahogany Obsidian in. And some red Jasper in. These are also some bigger pieces of red Jasper. Let's go ahead and bring those in. Yeah, that feels better there. Thank you all so much for being here. It's an honor and a pleasure. So go ahead, get comfy, relax, and if you need to move around, stretch, bend, or get something during, the Reiki is still flowing. If you fall asleep and find yourself snoring, awesome. I will see you all in 25 minutes, which puts us 25 minutes after the start of the hour, so 9:25 if you're on the East Coast. And yeah, enjoy, and thanks again. invite you to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly begin coming back to your body. If it helps to stretch, move, or bend. Thank you so much for being here with me this evening. And I've reopened the chat. If anyone has any questions or anything to share, feel free to do so. And I'm here 5 times a week. Right now, the schedule is Tuesdays at 10 a.m., Wednesdays at 4 p.m., Fridays at 4 and 8 p.m., and Sundays at 8 p.m. All of those are East Coast U.S. times. And I do sometimes pop in around astrological events and world events with just pop-up streams. If you want to know about that or any other special content I release, go ahead and subscribe with the notification bell on. Thank you again so much for being here. Oh, I'm glad you took a nap, Chris. You're so welcome, Grace. I'm glad your heart feels better. You're so welcome, Heart. You're so welcome, Fawn. Oh, also wanted to let you know there are still a couple of appointments available for next Sunday. I'm doing Tarotween. It's a fundraiser for my kitten fostering, all those good things. You can find the link in the description below, and I also do one-on-one distance Reiki and IET and tarot readings. All of the links are in the description below, but the tarot readings to raise funds are 50-minute readings for $50. So there's only, I think, like 2 appointments left for next Sunday, so that'll be the 30th. You all are so welcome. Vincent, yay! Congratulations on the nuptials. You're so welcome, Fawn. And ABC, you're so welcome. I hope you're feeling better soon. I know so many people who've tested positive recently. I'm so sorry. Feel better. And I will be back Tuesday at 10 a.m. And of course, you can always watch the recorded past streams. You can get some healing from those anytime that you need it. Oh, thank you, Anj. I really appreciate all the kind words, everyone. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. I hope my city's doing well. The Phillies won, so they're headed to the World Series. So that means people are climbing the poles on Broad Street. Very exciting. But even more exciting, Cora Carr and Vincent's wedding. Congratulations. So excited for you both. Awesome. So much. This community has been amazing. You guys seriously knocked my socks off. It's just been such a blessing to watch you all connect with one another and get to know each other and support each other. And it's always just so much positivity and support and checking in with each other. It's been a beautiful thing to watch. It's a blessing. Seriously. Yes, thank you. Happy Kitty Week indeed. Yeah, I'm so excited. I got to pet the cats barehanded for the first time. The foster kittens are free and clear of ringworm. That means no more giving them stinky dips and no more having to glove up and gown up every time I use the bathroom, because that's where I'm keeping them. So anyone in Philly that's ready to open their heart to two of them, they're bonded. So two of the most amazing, cool kitties that will just fill your life with love and purrs, let me know. Totally. I'm so excited. Yes, they're ringworm free. Those of you who are local buddies and grads of mine, if you want to help them socialize and get used to people because they spent most of their lives in a cage like this big, they're very skittish around people. So, except me, they're comfortable around me now. But yeah, the more they socialize, the more adoptable they'll be. Let me know if you're around and you want to hang out with some cats. They'll be able to hang out in the living room now. Chris, thank you. I hope you have a good night as well, and all the best to your sister as well. Yeah, well, I'm going to go ahead and bring the stream to a close here. I thank you all so much for being here. Also helping the channel to grow. We hit a new milestone. I can actually post posts and community updates and even polls in the feed now, where I couldn't do that before. So another milestone reached. Thank you, everyone. Next milestone I really want to hit is 1,000, so that will be a fully monetized channel and be able to do all of the cool community things that YouTube is adding in. Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, yay, Cora Carr. I'd love to have you both over. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm going to go check on them kitties and hang out with them and play with them, and also make myself some dinner. So all of you have a beautiful evening. Tuesday is the solar eclipse. Yeah, it's new moon also, so some intensity. I'll be here at 10 a.m. So hold on to your socks. Intense times for eclipse season, but I'm here. All right. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. Don't forget to take care of yourself, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.